Welcome back to Family Investment. So today I just want to share that I have been impacted by COVID-19 recently. So for the last 14 days, I've already got my COVID-19 and I've tried to live through it. I'm still not 100% trying to live through it, and I'm still recovering as I go along. So, looking back, COVID-19 is definitely a virus to be reckoned with. Something that I don't even wish on my worst enemy, because it's an experience that I do not want to repeat again. If I ever come to repeat that experience of that 8 days ordeal of a high fever, pain, I'll just put a bullet through my head, to be technically honest. So, and before I begin, just to share my experience and what's gone through, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's left me heartfelt, warm messages on YouTube and Discord, and it really means a lot to me, because when I was sitting down there, watching your phone, there's no news that you really want to read. Your mind is just banging through your heads, and reading those heartfelt, warm messages really does mean a lot from everyone, from you guys. So I really do want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. So really, what's happened here? I mean, as a family of my family, my wife has been really commandingly very, very careful with this whole COVID-19 saga since the start, when it was in February, March in 2020. We had strict regimes about washing every vegetable that comes through the door, washing every hand, cleaning every handles. We've been really absolutely careful. But I slipped just once. So what's happened on the 14th of June? My daughter got called back from school. I had to go and pick her up because somebody at school has been exposed to COVID-19. And she wasn't sitting far from that little girl as well. Anyway, so we were told to go into lockdown from the 14th all the way to the 10 days later, but 24th of June in the lockdown. So we had to cancel our holiday plans. We had motor vans booked. I spent about £1,500 on a motor van book that we were traveling the west coast of Scotland, watching the sunset through the Atlantic, and all those plans got cancelled. So I said, fine, it's important, life comes first. So we went to isolation. Everything was fine for the 10 days of isolation from the 14th all the way to the 23rd. And then on the 24th, my daughter developed a cough at the corner of the room. And that's when we thought, oh, something is not right. And guess what? We have done about 3 PCR tests, where you have to formal PCR tests up the nose, up the mouth for my daughter. And it all came back negative. It's the very last day of the isolation. We could have been out on that last day that she developed this cough. And then that's when hell all broke loose. That's when she started coughing, fever. I started coughing, fever. My wife, my son as well. So it all developed. But my wife, my daughter, and my son, they all recovered within the span of 2 to 3 days. But however, for me, yours truly, I was in bed. I was in bed with high fever, over 39.3. I don't know how high that thermometer can go. But I was on high fever, paracetamol, ibuprofen. It didn't really help. It was high. It came to the point where 7-8 days of high, constant fever. I couldn't sleep properly. I couldn't pee properly. I couldn't walk properly. I couldn't think properly. I was hallucinating. I was sleepwalking at night, but I was so tired. It was just battling. My body was just trying to fight it, ins and outs. And what could you do? You call a hospital. What could they do? This all they do. Just drink water, lemon, paracetamol, ibuprofen. That's all they could do. Well, what made it even worse towards the course of day 5, day 6, day 7, day 8 is my oxygen levels started dropping. The coughing started coming in. I couldn't breathe properly. My lungs started wheezing up. And then oxygen levels started dropping to the lows of 94, 95, 91. It came to a point where I had to call a paramedic. Paramedic came, looked at my face. Instant, 10 minutes, yeah? First time in life I've ever called paramedic ambulance. Came, he said I was alright, it was fine. He said I could be worse. But I was struggling, man. I was struggling. I wish I had an oxygen tank, but hey, that's what you have to live with. It's a protocol. It's the NHS that you have to live with. So I had steroids prescriptions prescribed to me, hopefully to help with inflammation. I've done that, and now I am on the mend. I'm on the recovery. So now on day, I don't know, is it day 10, 11, 12 now? I've lost track. And I'm on the recovery, and I'm still not 100%. I'm still weak, And in fact, today I've worked through Monday, I worked through Tuesday at work, and today, Wednesday, I worked through at 11 o'clock, and guess what? It's like the devil's pushed the button again. Go poop fever. So I had a fever for another hour. My temperature started rising up close to 38 degrees again. Oh my goodness, it's gonna all start again. But as I suppose it's not as bad as it was, but I'm still not feeling 100%. My mind's still playing up. I'm still feeling lightheaded. I can't drive properly. So this is the after effect. Hopefully I don't get this long COVID. That's what they call a long COVID. Even hearing the word long COVID really scares me. So all the message I want to give out to you out there is, one, get your vaccination intact. Get your vaccine in place. I've got my first vaccine, but it didn't help. So make sure you get your first vaccine, get your second vaccine, get your family members, get your mom and dad, anybody, get it vaccinated. Don't fight this. Don't try to fight this. It's not worth fighting this. And the second thing that I would like to share is sitting down while I was hallucinating and thinking back. I manage my family funds and everything as a family investor. One thing that I was trying to do is I was trying to take my black book and write every single my password, my username, my course. I mean, I spoke to my wife. I said, if anything that's happened to me, if I was gone, we should know how much wealth we have, where to go, what access, what insurance. It's not primarily written down. So I made a mistake there, started writing down halfway through. And that's what I think everybody should do when you're up nice and healthy. Make sure you write all your password, all your username, all your email addresses, everything down. That if your partner picks it up, they know where to go for access for money, what they're entitled for, and everything else. So I think that's important. That's like the second message that I would like to convey to everybody. So it's not, don't just leave it last minute until you fall apart and then somebody trying to figure out how much money you have. I mean, I have built a substantial amount of wealth in my investment and everything in the last few years, but nobody would be able to find information. So that's what I'm doing. Make sure I wrote it all down. So now it's written, locked, and safe somewhere. So if anything happens, my wife can get access to it. So this is me. Life is wealth. It doesn't matter how much all-time high I hit. In fact, I hit all-time high again, and my stocks and my holdings while I was feeling ill. I wish I could do a video then, but no, I was far too ill. So life is wealth. It's expensive. It's healthy. So after this, when I come the other side, I think I need to get back to running. I need to get back to my marathons again. I need to just get back in shape. This is not good enough. To fight COVID, it's not just about a vaccine. Regardless of COVID or regardless of anything in the future, I think it's all about your health, about your well-being, your health, your mental strength up here. All right, so thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening. I think I've rambled off too long, but this is my story, and that's what I just want to share with you guys today. Thank you. Bye.